Hey guys, Breakup Brad here. I am, of course, the leading breakup and relationship expert here on YouTube, and I'm about to help you figure out whether your ex is the one for you, a perfect match, your soulmate, or whether they're actually not right for you at all, and it might really be best to think about giving up and moving on. Now, here's some good news to start things off. I'm actually not going to do any self-promotion in this video at all. Well, except for right now, actually. I just want to quickly say that if you decide that after watching this video, your ex is a perfect match for you and you simply can't let them walk out of your life, all you need to do is go to breakupbrad.com to watch my full how-to presentation and learn how to give yourself the best possible chance of winning them back. And that is it for self-promotion in this video. Let's dive straight into the goods. The question is, of course, is your ex the right person for you? Now, look, guys, this is something we've all wondered after a breakup. You're heartbroken and you're missing your ex like crazy. And those feelings, they tend to push aside any negative memories of your time together and of your ex's, personality in general. So simply put, even months after a tough breakup, you're really not thinking straight, and you're also not in a good position to evaluate how compatible you actually are with this ex. But in a few seconds here in this video, I'm going to share 5 questions that you can ask yourself to try to get a real idea of whether it's time to forget about this person altogether and move on, or double down and try and win them back. Now, the first question that you need to ask yourself is also the most difficult one to answer honestly, but it's also arguably the most important question to ask yourself in order to find out whether it's time to move on. So try and be 100% honest with yourself as you answer this question. And that question is, are you scared of the thought of life without your ex around? Now, I can see you macho dudes out there, you're watching this like, Brad, bro, I ain't scared of shit, man. And maybe some others of you are thinking, what am I not scared of? But let's not kid ourselves, because almost everyone is going to feel anxious about an uncertain future. You and your ex, you became accustomed to one another. You became comfortable with the idea of having them in your life as your person. And then one day, suddenly, that's all been ripped up and thrown out the window. Your reality has just completely changed. And your vision of the future, suddenly doesn't look as realistic or as real as it did before the breakup. Now, of course, that is a scary thought. And it is human nature, to be frightened by an unknown future. So yeah, guys, you are going to be at least a little bit scared of what it's going to be like to spend the rest of your days without this ex by your side. What if you never find somebody new? What if you end up dying sad and alone? These are all paranoid and unrealistic fears, usually, but it is completely natural to fear this kind of thing after a breakup, where suddenly your mental image of the future has been turned upside down. But guys, you need to look past this natural anxiety that comes after any breakup and really try to determine how much your outlook and your mindset right now are driven by this fear. Try to figure out if the anxiety you're feeling is causing you to idolize your ex and focus too much on the positive aspects of them and your relationship. Ask yourself if you really wouldn't be happy with someone else taking their place, or whether the fear of just having to find that someone else is constantly weighing on your mind. Again, anxiety is normal when you're suddenly dumped and you just ended a serious 5-year relationship with someone that you plan to marry. But is it clouding your judgment and causing you to mistake fear of the unknown future for fear of losing this specific ex? And question 2, did you and your ex have a real future together? Can you picture that future? And is it actually realistic? So this second question is a lot simpler, guys, but it's also another one that can be really tough to answer honestly. The question, though, is whether you genuinely had a realistic future with your ex in 5, 10, 25 years down the road. Did you both want kids? Did your friends and family get along? Was religion going to get in the way someday? Do you live near one another? Or is one of you going to have to move across the world someday soon in the near future? Really, the question is, does a long-term future with this ex, if you're 100% honest with yourself, actually seem feasible and realistic? Were you actually likely to ever going to be able to live happily ever after and be together forever? Or was something, going to make that unrealistic and never actually going to happen? Question number 3. Would things be different next time around if you had a second chance with your ex? As you guys probably know from a lot of my other videos in my X Factor program, I really don't ever think it's wise to read too much into what your ex tells you were the reasons behind your breakup. But some couples are just, for whatever reason, unable to break out of a toxic cycle when they're together in a relationship. So whether that's an argument that, repeats itself again and again and never gets resolved, or just a clash of personality, you have to ask yourself whether you can realistically overcome any problems in your past relationship with this ex. If they're minor, if you're really minor, you probably have a very good reason to think that you can work things out in the future and that things will be different if you were to get back together. But maybe your ex has always ended each of his or her relationships with cheating. Do you really think that's going to change the next time around? Or maybe you're a serial killer who can't stop murdering hitchhikers, but your partner has a moral obligation to mass murdering innocent people. How are you ever going to reconcile that difference? Really, what I'm saying is if there's some problem or issue between you and your ex that's never going to go away or be fixable, then really think hard before you dive right back into that situation again. Question number 4. Were you always having serious arguments and conflicts with this ex? I mean, hey, we all argue with our romantic partner from time to time, and sometimes they can, even get heated and last multiple days. But studies have actually even shown that on occasion, sometimes an argument between partners can actually build trust and help your romantic connection. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. But there is really a limit to what's normal and what's healthy when it comes to arguing. And beyond that threshold, when fights get very bitter and very personal or happen constantly and never get resolved, that's bad news, and it's unlikely to be something that you're ever going to be able to easily fix if you do get back together. One good way to tell if you've passed into the not normal, not healthy territory in your arguments is to think about the general ratio of sort of positive to negative time spent together with your ex. So when you were a couple, was there a fight once a week, but the other 6 days were happy and you always had fun together? Or did you spend 3/4 of your time together arguing? And lastly, guys, there's one other thing I want to say for certain here, and that is if that your partner was, ever physically abusive or even threatened you with violence, then the answer is really easy, and you should never get back together with that person, ever. Instead, go see a counselor, go to the police even if necessary, but abusers typically don't change, and domestic violence generally does tend to get worse over time rather than better. So, always stay far away from that kind of relationship and get any help if you fear for your own safety. And finally, question 5 is, why do you really want to get back together with this person? Like, what is the real reason you want to get them back? Now, this is a tough one again to answer honestly, but maybe if you really think long and hard, your answer might seem kind of shallow or silly generally. I actually had a coaching client a while ago who, when I asked him this very same question, he told me bluntly that his ex gave the best blowjobs ever. And I mean, seriously, that's great, and I'm happy for all or both partners in a relationship getting, sexual satisfaction from it. But is that really enough of a reason to get back into an otherwise troubled relationship? Is your answer going to be because we were madly in love and connected on a deep emotional level? Or will it be, because he always ironed my work clothes and made great French toast? Whatever it is, just answer honestly and then decide for yourself whether your reasons for wanting to get back together are the right ones. If you do decide that you still want your ex back and that you really don't want this person to slip out of your life forever, well, you know where to get more reliable and helpful and proven tips, of course, and that is by coming back and watching more of my YouTube videos, signing up for my X Factor program, or registering for my one-on-one ongoing coaching service. On the other hand, if you're watching this and you now realize that it's really time to move on and that your ex isn't the one for you, then, congratulations on at least deciding on a path forward, and good luck on the journey. Either way, whatever you've decided after watching this, please be sure to click that subscribe button right now to show your support for my channel, and leave a comment below if you want to chat more. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gents. Breakup Brad here, signing off. I'll see you in the next video.